What's up, everybody? Well, I got another Asus G15 Advantage gameplay video for you guys today. And today, we are going to finish up Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. I'm going to play it at 4K here on my bedroom TV, which honestly isn't doing so good. It's got like some big black blotches showing up, but it was a rather cheap TV. Originally, this was going to be like, well, not even a cheap TV. It was like a mid-range TV that basically got used 24/7, like the whole time Danielle was here, and it was going to be her TV. So I'm kind of glad if it's already dying, I did not give that to her as a gift, because that would have been a shitty gift. Like, hey, here's a 4K TV for like 2 or 3 years, and now it's already fucking up. I'm kind of disappointed, Samsung. This is the second time you're letting me down. Whatever. I think I'm just gonna fucking, once I get into my new place, I'm just gonna like load up on fucking OLED TVs. They're just so fucking awesome. Then I don't have to worry about this nonsense, because I've had my C1 this whole time. I've taken some precautions to prevent burn-in, but it's not like I've been super frickin' like OCD about it. Like, I don't full screen like my internet browser. I have all my tabs open and stuff. I edit videos on it, which is static images all the time, like the timelines and all that, and still not a hint of burn-in after all these 2 years I've had it. So I'm not that worried, and even if I got burn-in, I could buy another TV. I don't really care. Anyway though, why don't we go ahead and hop on in and look at some settings and get a little gameplay. I'm kind of curious to see how this one does at 4K.
Well, let's get started with 4K. Now this is probably not gonna go so well, even on low, but hey, let's go try it. Maybe it'll surprise me. And look, we're already at the bottom, so let's go find out and hop into the game for the first time here at 4K. Now, here we go. 4K, low, and we're recording, and it's staying right at around 60, so I'm actually kind of impressed. Even going all the way up to almost 70 at times there. So if we weren't recording, we'd probably be getting about 70 FPS or so. So that's not bad at all. But I shouldn't get ahead of myself. This is only low. But to be perfectly honest with you guys, I figured this is going to be like a 40 FPS experience right off the bat. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Hey, look, some driftwood. Lots of driftwood. I mean, I guess you could argue all of this is driftwood, even the boats and everything. If it came from the sea and it's wood, it's driftwood. Wonder if that counts as a wooden boat that's totally connected together and it's flawless in every way. It's wood, and if it just gets away from people and comes in, I guess it could be considered driftwood. Or maybe it has to be a literal tree piece of wood to be considered driftwood. Who knows? You'd have to look at the literal definition, and who wants to do that? I ain't got time for that. I'd rather make YouTube videos rather than look up shit like that in the dictionary, you know? But still fun to talk about. Anyway though, here's our little stopping turning around point, so why don't we move along? Let's do some medium now at 4K. See if it can handle that too. Probably not if we were so close to dropping under 60 already, but hey, maybe it won't be so bad. Let's jump in and find out. Well, here we go with some medium. And there we go. This is more of what I was expecting right off the bat at low, so. Still, it seems like we're in the higher 40s. It even touches 50 every now and the blue moon. So if we weren't recording, it probably would be at about 50, 52. So for a lot of people, that's playable. But me, I like a more than 60 FPS experience for most games. But this is one of those ones where I would definitely argue you don't need it. It's nice to have, but not necessary, if that makes sense. Because we're not doing anything super intensive. I mean, I know we're going to fight eventually. I have a sword. But I feel like it'll be like Assassin's Creed kind of fighting, where it's not like Mortal Kombat, where I'd like 100 FPS to get that perfect combo down or anything like that. So I can at least forgive games like this for dropping low. But that's why I would just play on a low resolution or with FSR on or something if I wanted my 60 FPS. I'm just sitting here doing all the settings for you guys, so kind of wonder what high and the rest of those are going to be like. I mean, if the FPS gets too low, I'll just start, like, limiting the walked half of this freaking beach or something like that, you know? But we'll see. Maybe it won't get that bad. Well, at least until we get to ray tracing anyway. I'm pretty sure that's going to be horrid. Unplayable kind of horrid. But now, let's move on. Now we're going to do high on 4K here. Which is probably a 30 FPS experience or so. But hey, why don't we find out? Alright, more like a 40 FPS experience, huh? Well, I'll be damned. It's dropping down to 40 now a little bit, but hey, it was at 40 for a while, and 39, 38 still close enough. All right, now it's getting down to 37, so what is it going to be, 38 to 39 while we walk down the beach? Kind of seems like it. Oh, there's that pop in right there. It's not as noticeable when you're getting lower FPS, it seems. Anyway, moving on. Well, now we'll try real high very quick. And this is definitely going to be like an under 30 FPS experience, almost guaranteed. Although I've been wrong about a bunch of the other ones, so maybe I'll be wrong about that one too. Being wrong for is good in this case. But let's find out. Now we're going to do very high. And yeah, it's like a 30 FPS experience on very high. It's gonna be that damn ray tracing that really screws us over, so hell, a lot of people would probably be fine playing it just like this. I mean, a lot of consoles are limited to FPS like this if you want quality mode. The best way to look at this is this way. This laptop is essentially a portable PS5. It kind of sits in between a PS5 and a Series X, and the CPU is more powerful than either of them. But the GPU kind of sits between the two. And there are, you know, little tiny bits that are better about each other one. You know, like the console one might have a little bit higher bit rate and stuff like that, and higher bandwidth, memory bandwidth and stuff like that. Like I think that one's got like I think both consoles have like a 380 or something, like for bit rate or something like that. Old cards used to have 512. So. But I think new age technology just kind of like nullifies going lower than that now. But who knows? So there's differences like that. But this has more like ROMs and like I think more shaders and shit like that. And I know I shouldn't use this, but higher teraflops as well. Well, here's where the real fun begins. Looks like it's time to do ray tracing, and if we were already struggling at right around 30 FPS while recording, this is gonna definitely drop us under the 30. Probably under 20 for crying out loud, but only one way to know. Yep, and here we go with ray tracing on low. We're dropping under 20 at times even, into the teens, so yeah, this is completely unplayable. As far as I'm concerned anyway. So screw this, we'll just get like, go underneath the bridge a little bit, maybe pass just a hair and call it quits and go on to the next ray tracing. Even though ray tracing sucks, I feel like I should still do all of them just so we can see how bad it is and why you shouldn't use it. But, alright, now let's go move on. Medium ray tracing now. So of course, we look at all the settings real fast. And now, after that, it is time to get back into the game and see how absolutely horrible medium ray tracing is. Here is some medium ray tracing now, and we're in the super teens over by that water anyway. Can we at least go up a little bit over here? Nope, still at about 15. So, just like I figured, even more unplayable than it was before, but why would it get better? You know, that wouldn't make much sense. I'd be asking a lot more questions if all of a sudden I was getting like 30 FPS on medium instead of low, you know? Be like, well, okay, what else is going on here? Some other setting must have been changed, because something ain't right. But alright, this seems like a pretty good spot to stop since it's so bad. Let's move on to the next ray tracing. Here we go, high ray tracing now. So let's just scroll on to the bottom. As you can see right there, it's on high. And that's all we really have, so let's go see what kind of slideshow it is now. Last up for ray tracing is high ray tracing here at 4K, and yeah. Kind of seems to get the same, if not a couple FPS lower than medium. But honestly doing better than I thought. I thought this was going to be like 9 FPS or something like that. Still dropping a little bit lower than it did before, but still completely unplayable no matter what, but kind of interesting. Alright, time to move on. Now to start trying some FSR. So we'll just leave it out very high just as a good test. I'll probably end up having to change everything to custom settings for my settings when we get to the end. I do not think just changing it to ultra quality is going to net us 60, but let's go find out. Here is some FSR gameplay here on ultra quality, and like I thought, not quite enough to get us 60 the whole time, but definitely a lot better than it was, so that's good. Alright, moving on. Let's do quality FSR now. Here we go right there. FSR quality. 1.0, but still, FSR is FSR. At least it helps a little. Let's get into the game. Alright. Let's get ourselves just quality FSR now. And that definitely seemed to help a little more, like probably about 10 more FPS. I think we only got like 43 to 45 before. So definitely helping. Not quite what I consider playable for me, but I'm sure a lot of people will be more than happy with this. That's exactly why I do this, so you guys can just see how it plays. Anyway though, it appears it's time for us to move on to the next FSR. Here we go, FSR Balanced gameplay now. Well, settings first, then gameplay. This is technically not gameplay. It's just a settings screen. There you go, balanced. And alright, now let's go get into the actual gameplay. Alright, now we got FSR Balanced. And it looks like we're getting up to right at around 60 now. But it's still probably going to drop down here and there. But I wouldn't really care about a frame drop to 59, 58, really. That's still more unplayable to me. It's once we get down to like 57 or like 56 and under, that's where I start going, alright, that's a little noticeable. Although it might only be noticeable because I have the damn frame rate counter up, for all I know. I generally do not game with those up unless I'm starting to wonder, like, this doesn't feel right. Then I'll pull it up real quick to see if it's like overheating or crashing or something, depending on what computer I'm on. But even this one has 96C on the CPU and 87 on the GPU. They're all still doing fine. Last up for FSR is FSR Performance. And we're leaving everything the same, just like we have been. There we are right there, FSR Performance. And now, let's go get back into the game. Here is some FSR Performance gameplay now. And hey, at least we're up over 60 now. But it doesn't really look that fantastic anymore. I'm excited to see what I can do with the settings and see what kind of FPS I can get. I feel like I can do better than this. Or at least the same. We'll see. It's gonna be the same though. I might as well just run max settings, right? Well, let's go over my settings here before we hop into the game. We'll get screen and some camera gameplay. Now this time around I do have to use a little FSR. I don't usually like using it, but we're going to. No ray tracing either. But let's hop into the game. Well, now it's time for some of my settings here. And while we're not quite getting 70 FPS like we were on Performance, it sure looks a shit ton better. So, as long as it can stay over 60, I'm a happy guy. And the fact that I'm actually playing a game close to 4K, I wonder what FSR Ultra Quality actually is as far as resolution. It's probably gotta be pretty close. Because this definitely looks a lot better than Performance did. And that had maxed out settings, as you saw. We are not at max settings. Well, there's that stutter for getting close to the frickin' forest. But now, let's go switch up to some camera now.
Well, alright guys, let's get ourselves some camera gameplay now. So you guys can see what this game is like without any editing, or not editing, but any OBS or anything running in the background taking up, you know, resources. I think my settings work out pretty well. Yeah, we're not getting hundreds of FPS, but we're staying over 60. And we're getting pretty good frame times too. Ooh, man. Big old flag flopping in the wind there. Now, I'm pretty excited to actually play this game, but I got a bunch of other games to beat first. Gotta beat Persona 5, gotta beat Ni no Kuni 2, and I still have to beat Gotham Knights and a bunch of other games I've bought recently too, so this one will probably be on the back burner for quite a while, but I definitely intend to play it at some point. It seems like it'll be quite a fun little game. There, we got that same stutter in the same area as usual. Huh. I wonder how many ships crashed here. Oh, maybe this was like a battlefield and all these people on the pikes are the enemies. Who knows? I know very little of what's going on in this game.
go over here and look at this waterfall. Oh, walked into some thing. Man, got a bunch of dry skin under my nose and it sucks. It's just like crazy. And then if I want to do anything about it, especially in public, it makes it look like I'm picking my nose or something. But whatever. I'd rather be comfortable and not give a shit what people think. But yeah, it'll definitely be fun to get off of this beach by the time I'm done getting all the footage of how the game kind of runs. And I'm sure there's some people wondering, and if they didn't watch all the rest of the videos, they're wondering, wait, why isn't he playing the game like usual? Well, with this one, I don't know what to expect, and I figured if I start climbing up over there where I'm supposed to go, well, then who knows? What if I get stuck in a cave for like 20, 30 minutes or whatever? Then I can't really use that as good footage for you guys showing you how the game runs, because that's not realistic. Games always run better in caves and whatnot than they do out in the open like this, or in buildings or whatever. So if I got farther and got into that structure over there and we're all inside, I'm sure I'd get better FPS than out here. But if that's what I'd assume, maybe I'm fucking wrong. Who knows? But that is why I haven't gone any farther than this. This seemed like the perfect spot to like test stuff. Plus I can keep testing in the pop-in over here. It always stutters a little bit when the little fog of this forest I came in on kind of loads in. And then it always does the same over here coming back, loading the same shit. I wonder what actually loads back here. I think it's just more fog and whatnot. But yeah, see right there, it stuttered and loaded more stuff back in. But at least it's not like the end of the world kind of stutter. Other than that, it seems like it's pretty damn smooth when I'm not recording with OBS. Recording with OBS always adds a lot of stutter because I'm asking a lot out of the GPU to do the game and super high bitrate. It doesn't seem to be quite as good as Shadow Play, but if I could use Relight, it probably would be. But at least the way I have mine set up, which is stock drivers, that still doesn't work to this day, which is really sad. They should really fix that. Hell, or better yet, it's got a freaking APU. It should, like, let the APU do all of the work, you know? And then take the, pressure off of the main computer, or the main GPU. But I think if I did that, it would just sit there and get the desktop in OBS, since that one's not doing anything and it's just sitting there chilling. But, whatever. There are some pros and cons of the laptop, and when I do my year-long video of how this thing's been over a year, I'm going to be very thorough with the pros and cons of the laptop. But alright, I think that's more than enough camera footage here, so why don't we go ahead and go wrap this video on up.
Well, alright guys, that is a wrap for Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice, at least on the Asus G15 Advantage, and it handled the game pretty good. We couldn't do 4K native, but if you had a TV and wanted to play on it, you could always just use a little FSR. Sure, it's not 4K anymore, but it still looked really good on there, with FSR 1.0 even, Ultra. Now, if I shoved my face right up to the screen, sure, I could tell some differences between FSR and 4K, but if I'm just sitting there playing the game, that didn't look that bad at all, at least in my opinion. But what do you guys think? I guess that's all I got for you guys for this particular video. It's time for me to move along to the secondary computer. I actually have this game downloading right now. It was scooting along at like 100 megs a second, but all of a sudden it seems to slow down to 25. See, it doesn't matter if you have gig fiber internet or not. You're at whatever the mercy of whatever Steam wants to let you download at sometimes. But anyway, time for me to move on to that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video though, because I sure enjoyed making it. And until the next video, peace out, guys.